When I think about leaders who have knocked down barriers and built new bridges to put renewable fuels to work, there is one clear leader that stands out far and above the rest. Her career accomplishments include implementing massive tax reform to deliver lower income tax rates for Iowa's citizens and corporations, implementing school choice for parents and students so the tax dollars actually fund what is best for that student as determined by that family, a best-in-class response to the COVID-19 pandemic, keeping Iowa businesses and classrooms open and Iowa's economy strong in some of the most uncertain weeks and months in my entire lifetime. She drove efficiency in government spending long before some guy showed up as First Buddy and brought notoriety to the term Doge. Those topics all brought positive national attention to Iowa, but the one accomplishment I will always be most grateful for is her ability to lift agriculture up as a fierce champion for our state's farmers and renewable fuel producers. You see, 30% of all gasoline sold in Iowa today contains 15% ethanol, and that simply would not be the case without Governor Reynolds. Her landmark E15 access standard legislation that was passed into law in 2022 has officially taken effect as of just this past month, and the sales data shows what we all know in this room to be true. If you give the consumer the access to choose higher blends of ethanol, they will choose and consume them. Governor Reynolds has removed the chokehold major oil corporations had at the terminals and at the pumps, and Iowa's farmers and consumers are now reaping the benefits. When the federal judicial system shot down President Trump's attempt in 2019 to approve nationwide E15 from the executive branch, it was Governor Reynolds that formed and led the 8-state opt-out here in the Midwest to opt out of the technical fuel regulations and drive the American Petroleum Institute to the negotiating table. Whether testifying at EPA hearings in Michigan or traveling to Washington, D.C. to participate in policy meetings, Governor Reynolds' continued fight for renewable fuel interests in all of these meetings. She is a living example of putting a lifetime into making renewable fuels work. Governor, as you come out to join me, I want to thank you because I will never forget our first interactions as we put Elite Octane in Atlantic, Iowa on the map, and the working relationship we have developed since then is one I will cherish for my entire lifetime. Come on up. Please help me in joining our great state of Iowa's Governor, Kim Reynolds.
Well, thank you, Nick, for that very kind introduction, and thank you for always saying yes. Every time I tapped you to be on a task force and really continue to move this state forward, I appreciate you and your engagement so much. I appreciate your investment with Elite Octane, and not only in our state, but your investment in our communities across this great state as well. So really supporting our agricultural community. So thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this morning. It is great to be here with all the leaders who power one of Iowa's greatest success stories. I want to thank the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association for hosting this annual summit and for your tireless advocacy on behalf of an industry that's essential not only to Iowa's economy, but to our nation's energy future. Renewable fuels are part of Iowa's DNA. And long before biofuels became a national conversation, Iowa farmers and entrepreneurs were already asking an important question: how do we add value here at home? And the answer became ethanol, biodiesel, and now sustainable aviation fuel and next generation biofuels. Industries that support tens of thousands of jobs, strengthen our rural communities, and keep energy dollars circulating in our local economy. Today, as you all are very aware of, Iowa leads the nation in renewable fuels production. But let's be clear, this success didn't happen by accident. It happened because of strong partnerships between farmers, industry leaders, and policymakers. It happened because Iowa invested in infrastructure, supported higher blends, and fought back against policies that threatened to slow the progress. And it happened because this industry never stopped innovating and you never stopped pushing. And as a long-time biofuels advocate, I couldn't be prouder of some of the landmark achievements. And Nick talked about some of them, but becoming the first state in the nation to adopt Iowa's E15 access standards, getting, yay, game changer. Getting EPA to finally allow permanent year-round E15 sales in 8 Midwestern states, opening up 10% of the American market. The results of broader availability and infrastructure investment and continuing to push. Last October, ethanol accounted for 11% of the nation's gasoline supply, the highest ever recorded. In November, E15 accounted for roughly 30% of total gasoline sales in Iowa, with E15 sales increasing. These numbers change rapidly, but I think it's 45% year over year. And over the course of 2025, this industry once more broke production and export sales records, thanks in large part to the growing demand from countries like Canada, UK, and India, and that list of countries continue to grow. As we look ahead, the opportunity before us, as you know, is enormous. Year-round E15 nationwide, and I was encouraged to hear the President's commitment to getting that done in Clive last week at the rally. But as you know, we have to continue to just keep pushing until we get that through Congress and across the finish line. Sustainable aviation fuel, carbon capture, and new bioproducts all represent the next chapter of growth. And once again, Iowa is positioned to lead. At the state level, we remain committed to policies that support renewable fuels, and at the federal level, we'll continue to be a strong voice for fair and workable federal policies that recognize the real environmental and economic benefits of biofuels, including pushing the EPA, which we've been doing for years, for more timely release of the final rules and setting the 26 and 27 RVOs. I think we're getting closer, but we just have to get better about getting them out sooner. We're grateful that this week to get some guidance from Treasurer on 45Z, not final, but we've got some clarity finally. And as we pursue all of these opportunities to continue to push forward, we'll continue to do so responsibly, balancing innovation with stewardship, growth with sustainability, and economic development with respect for our land and water. So again, I want to just give a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you in this room for your leadership, for your perseverance, and really for your belief in what Iowa can do. You've never wavered. So this, which is like going to be kind of a hard year for me, but so this will be my final time to have the opportunity to speak at this summit as your governor. And I want you to know that it has been an honor of my life to serve as your governor. I love this state. I'm so proud of Iowans. They are by far our greatest asset, and I get to see it every single day up close and personal. I have been extremely proud to stand alongside each and every one of you in our fight for the renewable fuels industry. And I think together, we have proved and we continue to prove that Iowa doesn't just grow crops, we actually grow solutions. And I also want you to know that the stories and the memories from that fight, standing side by side with you over the years, are many. And I just want to thank each and every one of you, and God bless you. Thank you.
I'm not going to say anything to stop it because you deserve all of that and more. It has been a great time. You have been a great leader. When I took this job 20 years ago, we talked about not only having Iowa be a leader in the production of renewable fuels, but we needed to be a leader in the policy of renewable fuels and then export that policy that would drive more demand than we could ever accomplish in this state. And I would say during your governorship, that happened with the B30 tax credit, the E15 access standard, which we'll talk more about later. It is cutting edge, it is actually working and moving numbers, and we should never underestimate the leadership of our governor. One more time, please, a round of applause. Ooh. So, I was going to say it's a small token, but this is actually pretty good sized. The IRFA board wanted to thank you for your years of support and help. And so their highest honor of IRFA is to bestow a Lifetime Champion of Renewable Fuels Award. So today it's my honor, along with Nick, to present you with the 2026 Lifetime Champion of Renewable Fuels Award. Please congratulate Governor Kim Reynolds. Oh yeah, we're coming. All right, thank you so much.